What's up, geeks? I missed you all. Hope you all missed me too. So what I got for your asses today is my review for The Walking Dead Season 9 Episode 5, What Comes After, also known as Rick Grimes' final episode. But first, and if you're a geek like me, make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons so you don't miss any of this geekfully awesome content. So this episode took me back. If you're in my camp and think that The Walking Dead as of late has been on a downward trend in regards to quality, mindless violence, and gore just for the sake of it, just not as good as it once was, this episode might have just brought you back on board. It definitely brought me back on. The episode starts off where the last one left off. Rick is stuck and he has a piece of rebar piked right through him, and a horde of zombies are just headed right at him. Which, by the way, did you all notice how similar this all was to when Daryl got that bolt through his side in Chupacabra Season 2, where Daryl was off looking for Sophia and nervous Nellie gets spooked. Daryl falls off into the ravine and he has his own bolt go right through his side. And then when he's able to climb out, he walks right back to the farm like a damn walker with a walker ear necklace. Those were the good old days. And also, both kept having hallucinations. Man, I mean, I gotta say, these hallucinations in this episode were so well done. They took us all the way back to the beginning, the pilot. And while I love seeing that heartwarming hallucination with Herschel, my favorite one was the Shane one. I have always loved that scene of Rick and Shane just shooting the shit in the patrol car. It's one of my absolute favorite scenes. And this hallucination of Rick reliving it was so nostalgic. Did you guys catch the mannerisms, the facial expressions in it? They were mirrored exactly to the way they acted the scene out in the pilot. I do have one nitpick relating to hallucinations though, and that's that we got to see Sasha, but not Glenn or Carl or any other characters that were important to Rick. I guess, given that we recently got an entire episode dedicated to Carl dying, the showrunners probably thought that we'd probably seen enough of him. I don't know. But come on, dog. No Glenn? Okay, moving on. Let's talk about Maggie and Negan. Man, I think it was the weakest part of the episode to me, and I'm not sure I liked it. It's the first time we really get to see Negan behind bars and he's already crying. I still wanted him to be kind of unfazed by it all. Like, have that same attitude that he had when he told Rick that he was just getting the world ready for him. After all the hallucinations, Rick ends up on that bridge and all the walkers are chasing him and are about to cross it. And I guess if they did, they'd end up in the communities? Or I'm not even actually sure why he didn't want them to cross it. He did lead them there. Someone please explain to me this down in the comments. So Rick decides to blow up the bridge along with himself just as Michonne, Daryl, and Carol are trying to help him. And we get to see crybaby Daryl again. Nah, but really, that was heartbreaking. But then, just as the hand of Rick's death starts to reach down your throat, grab your heart, and squeeze, we see Junkyard Lady see Rick on the riverbank downstream. He's alive, and she gets a helicopter to rescue him, confirming the theory that Rick was leaving the Walking Dead show via helicopter. Good job, Theorizer fans. Good job. Rick is flown off into the sunset to space junk. What a fitting ending. But now, because Rick didn't die until we get the movie trilogy that was announced, we'll be left wondering where the hell he went. To the Commonwealth? I wonder. Where do you all think he was taken to? Let me know down in the comments. It also made me think how Rick and helicopters have been a thing this entire show. Have you noticed? He walks right up to one as he exits the hospital in the pilot. He sees one in Atlanta. A helicopter in a big way brought the governor into his life. The roof collapsed at the big spot in season 4 premiere, and then he leaves the show in one. Rick and helicopters from beginning to end. So the end of the episode leaves us with a huge time jump. We see a group of new people fending off a herd of walkers in this meadow. It's Magna's group. Suddenly, someone with amazing aim snipes a bunch of walkers that clear a path for them to head into the tree line for cover, and a little girl about 10 years old is there just holstering a gun. They ask her for her name. She reaches down and picks up nothing other than Rick and Carl's sheriff hat. She answers, Judith. Judith is a lot older and she's a badass. What a great episode, man. It feels like the showrunners have really breathed new life into the show, even in light of Rick's departure. Definitely among the best Walking Dead episodes ever. Only because I didn't particularly care about the Maggie and Negan scene, and I thought that could have been a little bit better. I'm gonna give this episode a 9 out of 10. Alright guys, that'll do it for this video. make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons like I told you earlier, and of course, make sure you check out more of my videos right now. Peace out, geeks.